This conference will now be recorded.
So generally, let me open my spec. The subcontracting is also special procurement. The subcontracting is also special procurement. In which case, generally the companies will go with subcontracting procurement. What is subcontracting procurement? So we need to see. Okay, so let me know. Okay, so anyhow, in this process, we'll give you to make a finished product. So what are all the materials is required? The materials will be provided by the company, and the materials will be given to the subcontracting vendor. The subcontracting vendor will make the finished product. That finished product we are going to receive from the vendor here. This is called the subcontracting procurement. So in this, vendor is doing the service for us. So just he is making the finished product and is handing the finished product to the company here. So in every company, you can see yesterday we observed pipeline procurement. So only few analysts they are using pipeline procurement. Okay, but tomorrow also same time. Okay, but tomorrow maybe Saturday, right? Maybe I'm not available Saturday offline. Okay, come to Monday, same 1 o'clock. Okay, so only 1-2 days. Again, I will merge in 7:45. Okay, right. Thank you. So in this process, in which situation the companies will go with subcontracting procurement. So there are various reasons will be there. Sometimes, suppose your production capacity is 1,000 pieces per month here, but you got the order for 1,500 pieces here. Then there is no time, right? So even though if you run 24 hours also your production, so you are not able to meet the requirement. So means due to lack of time, we'll go with subcontracting. So the companies, okay, so whenever they will get a bulk order from the customer, so we are not able to meet the requirement customer order. In that case also we'll go for subcontracting procurement. So due to lack of time or a particular machine, the equipment is not there. So I don't want to procure. Rarely I will get this chance. So I don't want to make. So whenever I will get that particular equipment service, so means due to lack of machine also I'll go for subcontracting. So due to lack of time, due to lack of machine, or due to lack of skilled technician, so generally the company is going to depend upon the vendor. It's called subcontracting vendor. Okay. So in the subcontracting vendor, however, I am providing all the materials on behalf of company. So here, while I am receiving the finished product, I no need to pay the complete price of the finished product. So then what I need to pay to the vendor? I need to pay only service charge. To make fixing or to make the finished product, I need to give the service charge to the vendor. In the subcontracting procurement, see here previously for pipeline and consignment procurement, the purchase info record is mandatory, but in subcontracting procurement, purchase info record is optional. Without purchase info record also, you can able to perform the subcontracting procurement. Purchase info record is not required. Okay, so suppose purchase info record is not there, manually will enter the price here. But in one more important, actually, in this procurement process, bill of material need to be created here. This is most important. But in this actually today's scenario, I'll take only two materials. Either I will take two raw materials or one semi-finished, one raw material, or two semi-finished. So I'll provide and I'll get the finished product from the vendor. But in real time, the components will be 100, 200, 300 components I need to provide. But in real time, these components, by using these components, the production people, they'll create bill of material in CS01 transition code. There is a transition code called CS01. In CS01 transition code, the production people, they will create a bill of material. Even though without bill of material also, you can able to perform this process here. But in real time also, so mostly the bill of material is available instead of entering manually all these materials. So every company, the production people, they will maintain the bill of materials. Now tell me what is bill of material? To make one finished product, so what are the components and ratio of the components here? I'll give you a good example. Suppose it's a car manufacturing industry here. If tire is a component or a material, so to make one finished car, how many number of tires is required? 4. If I want to make a 10 cars, definitely 40 tires is required. So for finished product, so I am giving only one example, but to make a finished product, So the list of components or list of materials and ratios also I need to mention. This is about bill of material, but still this bill of material is also optional. So how it is optional also I will show you. So let us start step by step we'll go. Okay. So here now step one, you can write down step by step also. So what is the step here? The steps. So the first step, let me create two components in my system here. Okay. In real time we'll need to create couple of components here. But in training system I will create only two components. Let me go to login pad. Enter your user ID and password. Okay, so now you know how to create a material, right? So I will take two raw materials, industry sector and material type raw material. The basic MMUs, enter the plant and store location. Okay, so this is actually I'm taking as a component one. This I'm taking as a component one. So the PC and enter the material group. Enter some purchase group here. Enter the valuation class. Enter the price. So 1617. So 1617 your component one. Okay. You want to enter your component one is so 1617 your component one. 1617. So this is the component one. The same way I need to create a component two also, right? So let me go to create a component two, MM01. So I'm taking two are raw materials only. So this I'm taking as a component two here. Step one, create two components. Easy, enter the material group. Enter your bio group. Enter the valuation plus. Previously you have taken 100, right? So let us take 120 euros. So this is my component two 1618, right? Component two I'm taking as a 1618. So this is my component two here. Component two. Now step one, create two components. Step two, create a finished product. Step two, create a finished product. Same thing. Already we have the thing. Latest thing is there. No, last year. 891. So now step two, create a finished product. So finished product here. So in real time we'll give a couple of components, but in training system we're giving only two components. So the finished product also with basic MMS. Enter the plant and store location. This is the final product. Okay. So I'm writing as a final product here. Final product PC. Enter some material group. Enter. So enter the valuation class. The price of this product is okay. And some standard price, so 1000 euros. So 1619 is my the final product here. So this is FG. FG, or we can write simply the final product. Okay. Now next step 3, create a vendor. You know how to create a vendor. So I'm having 1000 vendor 5210 vendor. In your case, step 3, create a vendor. Step 4, create a purchase info record. Step 4, create a purchase info record, and purchase info record is optional. You can write down step 4, create a purchase info record. The purchase info record is for the finished product only, not for the components. In bracket, it is optional without purchase info record also. So which vendor is providing? 1000 vendor. So my final product here, enter the purchasing organization, enter the plant, and you must select the subcontracting. You must select the info category subcontracting, and whatever the price you mentioned. Okay. So you know how to create info record. So enter some mandatory fields, which buyer group, and let us say standard quantity. So whatever the price. So generally, what is the price of this finished product here? Just now we enter 1000 euros, but I am mentioning only 50 euros. What is this price? So vendor without, so what vendor is giving? The vendor is giving the service, is making the finished product. So I'm providing the service charge. Okay, to make one piece, I'm giving 50 euros per one to make one finish. So one piece, okay, 50 euros. And go to condition tab. You can maintain from to date condition also. So if required here from this date to this date. So whenever this vendor is providing the this material in subcontracting process, okay, so I am providing service charge 50 euros per one piece here. So now step 4, you created a purchase info record, and please observe standard is blank, subcontracting info record indicated with L, and pipeline info record indicated with P, and consignment indicate K. So L means subcontracting info record. Okay, so but it is optional here. The next step here actually. So now the next step. So however, most of the industries the purchase requisition is mandatory, right? So let me create a purchase requisition ME51. Let me create a purchase requisition ME51 transition code. Okay, so ME51 the transition code to create a purchase requisition. However, user will mention the which material required. Suppose he required 1619 material. So how much quantity required? Suppose 10 pieces he required. For which plant he required? So enter the plant and enter the store location. Okay, now here you need to understand more carefully. So here enter the buyer group. Okay, I'll enter some buyer group here. So if I have not selected any material, so means if I have not selected any item category blank means subcontracting procurement. Item category blank means subcontracting procurement. As a user knows this material is I'm procuring subcontracting process. The normal PR also can convert into subcontracting PO, or here itself suppose user knows this material we are procuring subcontracting process. Whenever user is selected subcontracting, automatically in material data tab, so components tab will be adapted here. The components tab will be adapted here. Okay, so you can observe the components here. If bill of material is not created, okay, so bill of material is not created in the system by the production people. So if you click on components, the user has to enter the components manually here. So what is meant by bill of material? To make this finished product here. So just now I give an example. If it is a car, the tire is a component. I required 4 tires to make one car. Okay. So this actually I will show you where we'll define this components also. So now let me write a step here. So next step, what you need to write down. So before the PR, you need to write down. Create a bill of material. So make a note. Bill of materials will be prepared by the production people in real time. CH01 transition code. The CH01 is a transition code. Bill of materials will be prepared by the production people. It is for finished product. This is my finished product. But here BOM usage you need to take as a universal here. Okay. So why BOM usage I need to take? Because I am not owner of this transition code. We are the MM. So actually the production people also will be created bill of material, engineering people also, the plant maintenance people also, sales and distribution, costing people also. Okay, but actually it is applicable for all. So we are not ownership of this transition. Let me take BOM usage as 3. So enter your, so this however in real time will be done by the production people, don't worry. Enter your finished product, enter the plant, BOM usage as 3 universal, but also here valid from you must enter at least some 2-3 days before, because today itself you are preparing the BOM, today itself you are preparing the subcontracting procurement, right? So the components will not be detected. So at least I need to give some 2-3 days before here. Valid from I need to give some 2-3 days before here. So what is the date I need to enter? Like at least some 2 days here. If I mention today date, the components will not be detected at the time of PR and PO here. So that's what valid from. So you need to enter at least 1 or 2 days before. Click on continue. Now the system will ask you. So what are the components you created here? You can see here 1617, 1618, right? So enter the component of 1618 and okay. So 1618 and 1617. The first component is 1617 and second component is 1618. But actually 2:1 ratio. So whatever the ratio here, if it is a tire is a component, I need to mention 2 here. So what is the meaning of this bill of material? To make my final product FG, the first component is required 2 pieces, second component is required 1 kg. So then only I can make one finished product. So this is a ratio. So to make one finished product, 2 pieces is required the first component and 1 kg is required the second component. So simply you need to click on so. So this is the way I need to create a bill of material. The way I need to create a bill of material. So the bill of materials, all the bill of materials detail will be stored in MAST table, master table. Okay, make a note here. Bill of materials table, MAST, MAST. So the bill of material tables will be stored in MAST table, master table. Okay. Now next step, we need to create a purchase requisition. Now you can difference previously and now what is the difference between the previous PR and this PR? Simply user need to enter the finished product 1619. So enter the quantity, 10 quantity I required. For which plant I required? So 1000 plant. And which store location? Tribhuvan store location. Yes. So enter the purchase group here. Now come to here. Here, if I not selected anything here, so it is a blank is standard. But actually, I am procuring subcontracting process. The user has to enter the subcontract item category is L. When you enter the item category L, automatically component tab will be detected here. If you click on components, okay, this is the use of the bill of material. So bill of material previously what happened here? User has to enter manually. For 2 components I can enter manually. If it is 200 components, so these many number of components you need to the user has to enter manually. So in real time bill of materials will be prepared by the production people in CSG round. If you maintain the bill of material, so automatically these components will be detected at the time of PR. But why actually it is saying 20-10 here? Because 2:1 ratio. When you require 1 piece, it is 2:1. When I require 10 pieces, automatically it will be multiplied here. So sometimes I need to give excess stock. The quantity also fixed here. We have some options will be there. Simply go back and you need to click on save. So the purchase requisition is created under the purchase requisition number 100136673 here. So this is my purchase requisition number. Here also you can make a note. So if you know the subcontracting vendor, so directly you can create a PO, or if you don't know the subcontracting vendor, you can go to the quotation process. You know how to prepare the quotation like RFQ in ME41, maintain quotation, finalize the quotation, finally you need to compare. This already we discussed in the standard procurement process. I know the vendor. So if you know the vendor directly, you need to create a PO here. Okay. Copy the PR number. So copy the PR number. Please convert this PR into PO here. Simply go to ME21 and transaction code. Convert. Okay, so PR into PO. So simply enter the PR number. If I enter the PR number here, I need to enter my purchase requisition number here. If I enter my purchase requisition number, maybe it is not copied properly, no problem. So we have copy action is there. So if I go to the system, will take automatically the purchase requisition number. If I enter the purchase requisition number, system will pick all the details. So which material? So this is the material I am procuring subcontracting process. How many number of pieces, when, which date, and all. Okay, now again you go and observe. Okay, in item details you can observe material data tab here. So same thing you see, you can see the components have everything here. But actually what I need to enter, I need to enter the purchasing organization, and net price is not picking here. So here when I enter the vendor, purchase info record is created, right? The system automatically pick the net price as a 50 euros per 1 piece here. The system pick the 50 euros per 1 piece here. So this is the way we are ordering to the vendor. In subcontracting process, we require this material. So you need to save this PO. So this is the way we need to create a PO to the vendor here. The PO will go to the vendor. Okay. Now tell me what is the next step here. So I have given the order here. So what is the next step here? Vendor need to dispatch the stock here. So no, this is my PO number 450017218. Okay. So I created a PO. The PO will go to the vendor. But actually, in remaining procurement process, vendor need to dispatch. But in this procurement process, okay, so before going to dispatch, suppose now I given the order to make a finished product. Example, laptop here. What are the components required to make the laptop? All the components I need to provide, right? So here in subcontracting process, the components need to be provided to the vendor. If you are not provide the components, the vendor will not make the finished product here. So to get the finished product from the vendor, so definitely you need to provide the components. But it's actually continuous process here. Okay. So there is a report. Please make a note here. What is that report? ME20. So there is a report here in SAP ME20, not 20, ME20. In ME20 report, if I mention the vendor, what are the components here? 1617, and the second component is 1618. So these two components, how much stock is there? Vendor mentions, I need to check here. Yes, now you see here. But in fact, in training system, first time we are preparing. But in real system is a continuous process. Every time we are providing, sometimes the vendor may be consumed instead of 20 pieces, 15 pieces also. So over delivery also will be happened. Okay, under delivery is also happened here. But as of now, you can see this components 1617 component I need to provide, 1618 component I need to provide. Now at this point of time, the subcontracting vendor says the stock is 0. Here the second components also stock is 0 here, but requirement is 20 pieces and 10 kg. So these two components I need to provide. So once you will receive the components by the vendor, then you will make the finished purchase. But if I want to provide the components, so for where I need to provide, I need to provide from my stores. Is it correct or not? So I need to provide from my stores here. Now this is the most important. If you go and check your stock overview, so the first component and second component. If I go to MMBE, if I check my first component is 1617. So in my stores, is there any stock is there or not? Please observe. Now if you see, there is no stock available. Why stock is not available? Anybody in the session, Lakshmi, Yamuna, and SSV? Why stock is not available?
Because
We
we
have just
already made the finished product, right?
Yeah, Yamuna. Means why stock is not available? Okay, you are saying correct
we
here.
have just created that material, no? We have not given any number of units in
Yes.
PIR.
So here just now we created, but in the stores there is no stock. I need to maintain the stock here. Okay.
Yeah.
So here, even though if you go to, if I go to second component also 1618 also, the stock is actually zero stock is there. Stock is not available. But in real, so why I'm preparing? So all this master data, sir. So in initial class also I discussed with you, because if already using the master data, you are not able to understand. So that's what I'm. So if you want to make a better understanding, so I'm preparing the instant master data for standard procurement or consignment or pipeline. Today subcontracting also. So why I am preparing the master data instantly? Because you can able to understand more clearly. So these components just now we created, but we have not maintained the stock here. To maintain the stock, if stock is available in my premises, in my stores, then I can issue to my subcontracting vendor here. But stock is not available. Stock is zero. Completely stock is zero. If you go to detail display also, so overall stock is zero here. So I don't have any stock in any product, any stock type here. Okay, there is no stock here. So all are zero here. So for this actually, now you can write a note here. Make the availability of the stock. It is only in training system. In real system, stock is available, we can issue. But in training system, so what you need to write on, make the availability of the stock. Here, let us today I'll show you. So in general, till now what you observed. So if I want to get the stock, so here you will create a PO in standard procurement process or in consignment procurement process. You can receive the stock from the vendor. Okay. So for that I need to create a PO to the vendor. The vendor will dispatch, and if I will perform the goods receipt, I can receive the stock. But today I am applying. So whenever the user, suppose I am the user, I require badly the materials by today evening or tomorrow. I don't have time. The user, they don't have time to prepare the PO. In this case, directly I will call to the vendor. So here you can inform to your vendor, I require this particular materials are an emergency. Will you able to provide? If we able to provide the stock, so we need to, without PO also you can receive the goods from the vendor. So you can write down, make the availability of the stock, so that you can perform in MB1C transaction code or MIGO. In MB1C, so what is the movement type I need to apply? 501 movement type. 501. So when we are going to apply this 501 movement type, whenever the material is an emergency, already you call to the vendor. If vendor is dispatched for which plant and which store location, 1000 plant, 1000 store location, what is the movement type we are applying? 501. So enter. And now tell me what are the components here? 1617 the component 1 and 1618 the component 2. So how much vendor is dispatched here? The first component is 100 pieces. The second component is 100 kg. Which vendor is dispatched here? Your 5210 vendor is dispatched here. Example. Enter. And you need to, now you need to click on so this is actually goods receipt without PO. 501 movement type is what? Goods receipt without PO. Two ways you can receive. Directly you can give the order, normal process. Whenever vendor is dispatched, so we need to perform the goods receipt in MIGO. Okay. But today we applied. So whenever the company, sometimes the user required an emergency, directly will call to the vendor. Whenever vendor is dispatched, just you go to MB1C or MIGO with 501 movement type also you can receive the stock. Let me check the stock is arrived or not. So where I need to check again, I need to go to MMBE. In MMBE, let me observe the first component, second component, 1617. Now completely my stock is loaded. Now in my hand 100 pieces is there. The component 1 here is the component 1. The same way if I'll go and I will check my second component also. If I observe the stock, So 100 kg, the second component 2 also, I have 100 kg. Now stock is available. So next step, what I need to perform? I need to provide the components to the subcontracting vendor. So just now we discussed here, until unless if you are not given to make a finished product, if you are not provide the components, if you are not provide the materials, the vendor will not make the finished product here. So to make the finished product here, so I need to provide the components here. Okay. Once I will provide, again I will go and I will check my ME2O report. Okay, whether the stock is received to vendor premises or not here. For that, next step, what you need to write down? Provide the components to the subcontracting vendor. What is the transition code you can write down? So MB1B or MAGO. MB1B or MAGO, you need to provide the components to the subcontracting vendor. MB1B or MAGO, provide the components to the subcontracting vendor. Simply go to MB1B. Now the movement type you need to apply 541. Please keep in your mind what is the movement type you need to apply. 541 movement type you need to apply here. So enter the movement type 541. The 541 movement type, you are providing the components to the subcontracting vendor. 540 movement type is providing components to the subcontracting vendor. So enter the movement type, plant and store location. So click on purchase order. I must enter my purchase order number here. What is my purchase order number here? So now maybe I have not copied properly. Let me. So here purchasing documents for we have so many subchapters in there. Purchasing documents for the materials. Okay. So 1619, right? Your finished product is 1619. Okay, no, click on continue. So this is the PO. Okay, so this is the PO you created. In your case, you can write down manually. So now what I need to just copy the purchase order number. So once again, please observe. So next step, what you need to write down. So provide the components to the subcontracting vendor by using MB1B or MAGO. Simply type as MB1B and enter the movement type 541 from which plant and which store location. Go to click on purchase order, and here you need to enter your PO number. Okay. So once you enter the PO number, click on order place details here. Okay. Now, please observe first component as per the PO. How much I need to provide to get 10 pieces? So first component I need to provide 20 pieces. Okay. So but instead of 20, so what I will do? So I will show you. Okay. So sometimes in real time I will provide some excess stock also. Why I need to provide excess? Some fixing, sometimes the material may be damaged here. Okay, some misuse. So I'm providing 10 pieces extra. Instead of 10 kg, I'm providing 20 kg. The first component I am providing 10 piece more, and second component is also providing 10 kg more here. Okay, so means exact stock also you can provide, or excess stock also you can provide here. So you simply need to click on save. So once you provided, so please go and observe the stock overview. Okay, the subcontracting vendor premises, whether this particular stock is received to your subcontracting vendor or not. Where I can check my subcontracting vendor premises stock here? Again, you need to go to, okay, so where exactly here? Now go to your ME2O report here. Again, you go and observe your ME2O report. ME2O. Okay, here if I not enter the components, all the components will be open here. So what are the components? Just you enter two components, right? Enter your two components. If you click on execute, now please observe. Now here 30, previously the stock was 0. Okay, so here 0 pieces was there. Now already provided, right? So immediately stock is updated here. So 30 pieces and second component is 20 kg. But why it is showing 10 pieces and 10 kg? Because if you consume 20 pieces also, so just it is showing the forecast here. If you consume 10 pieces will be, okay, so here subcontracting means if you consume 20 pieces, so 30 minus 20, the 10 pieces will be available. If you consume instead of 20 kg, 10 kg, if you consume 10 kg here. So finally we came to know the stock got updated in ME2 report here. Okay, right. So next, now what we observe, the subcontracting is special procurement. Okay, so in this process, so we provide the components to the vendor. What the vendor will do? Vendor need to make a finished product here. Once we will make the finished product, so finally I need to receive my stores, right? So assume that whenever vendor is dispatched the stock, so here you received the stock from the subcontracting vendor. So finally we need to perform the goods receipt here. Go to MIGO. Finally, you need to perform the goods receipt in MIGO. Simply go to MIGO. Okay. So goods receipt here. Goods receipt. Purchase order. Enter the purchase order number here. So goods receipt purchase order number. You click on execute here. Now please observe more carefully. So here, this is material, my final product here, 1619. So here, before going to say item, okay. So quantity, this already you know. If vendor is dispatch 10 pieces, you can receive 10 pieces. If vendor is dispatches some 8 pieces, you need to receive. So how much quantity we received? Let us say I received complete quantity. In where tab you can observe the movement type is 101. This also you know. So anyhow, so we observe the movement type 101. For consignment procurement 101K we observe it. Okay, it's a normal subcontracting procurement. We observe 101. The finished product is going to update with 101 movement type only. Purchase data, if I go to the purchase data, this item is ordered at the subcontracting process. Okay. Now if I come to the partner means which vendor, through which vendor we are receiving. Okay. Coming to account assessment tab, in account assessment tab also nothing is there. Okay. So your purchase data, you can see item category subcontracting. Subcontracting. So finally item, okay. So before going to say item, okay. So let me check here. Okay. So check here. Okay. Document is okay. Then here, please understand more carefully. So if I open the tree here, here you can see here, you can minimize, and if I open the tree, this is the subcontracting procurement, right? So at the time of goods receipt, okay, now you can see the component. This is the first component here. This is the material one, finished part here. If I go to click on this here, this is a component one here, 1617 here. So how much quantity component here? 20 quantity here. In where tab you can observe the movement type as a 543 O minus it is showing. Why it is showing 543 O minus? Yamuna, SSV, Lakshmi. Why it is showing 543 O minus? Previously 101 place. Tell me, Abhirand Reddy. Why it is showing 543 O minus? Anybody in the session?
There is a stock difference. No, 30 you have uh, you have to give 30, but you are given 20.
No, this time you are wrong, SSV. Please observe 543 O. First of all, the moment actually the finished product you can see. If I open the finished product, it is showing 101 place.
Okay.
So I open the 101 place here. If I go to component, it is showing 543 O minus. What is O? O means stock category. O means, what is meant by O? O means parts provided to vendor. So why it is showing minus? The quantity over 20 only.
Okay.
Why it is showing a minus?
Because they already used the 20 pieces they have. That's why.
Yes, yes, exactly. Here, the 20 pieces is going to consume. So this finished product is
But
receiving to your stores.
subcontracting vendor.
Okay, the 20 this finished product is receiving to your stores, but this compound is going to consume, right? Minus. However, it is going to lose from our stores here. Already it is already we issued, but still it is showing at the time of goods receipt. Again, we need to observe it is going to minus goods issue against the subcontracting. So this much of stock we already issued, so it is going, it is not received to stores. Already it is we issued already, but at the same time goods receipt also we need to observe. But why it is actually, one more thing here. So instead of 20 quantity, vendor may consume 22 pieces also here. He will inform us. So 2 pieces got damaged. He will show you. Okay. Instead of 20, so over delivery consumption also will be happened here in where tab. Okay. You can see instead of 22 pieces here. Or sometimes, so he may consume less pieces also. Some within 17 pieces also he can make. Okay. So what finally? So the vendor will inform to us. Okay. So maybe sometimes he will use excess stock, or okay. So compared to excess stock also, or under consumption also will be happened, or same consumption. However, the vendor will inform. But here most of the interest they'll ask you the finished product update with 101 place, because this finished product is going to receive to the stores, and component 1 and component 2 543 O minus. 543 O means stock category, and here in component 2 also you can observe 543 O minus here. The component 2 also you can observe 543 O minus here. So this is actually the components is going to consume. Okay, so excess stock or less stock also consumed here. So finally you need to post the document here. So once it is posted, now I want to check my stock overview whether I received my finished product or not. whether I received finished product or not. If I go to MMBE, so what is my finished product here? 1619, right? So whether I received 10 pieces or not, yes, happily I received 10 pieces here. Okay, well and good. But actually here I need to pay service charge to a vendor here. Finally, the final step here. So that I need to prepare invoice, right? So where I need to prepare the invoice? Go to MIRO. I need to prepare the invoice here. Simply go to MIRO and prepare the invoice. So here for 10 pieces, each piece 50 euros means 500 euros I need to pay here. First of all, I need to enter the PO number. So unfortunately, the PO number is not copied properly. Okay, so no problem. So here I have another session I will open. Go to ME23N. Go to ME23N. The latest PO number will come. So this is my latest PO. What is the PO number here? 4500017218. Okay. And enter the invoice date. So this is the PO number. Okay, so 500 euros I need to pay here, but I have not selected any tax codes. Make it tax at 0, and in line item also please make it tax at the end of the transaction code. So here come to here, go and enter your transaction. Here also you make it transaction code 0, and here the calculate tax amount will be 0, and how much I need to pay? 500 euros here. Okay, 500 euros. So simply click on simulate. The first account is the vendor account, and second one is the company account. So you know vendor account is debit and our account credit. Next time vendor account will be created and our account will be debited. Simply go back. You need to click on select. So this is about today's session. But finally, what we observed, the subcontracting procurement is a special procurement. But in real time, only not for the 2 components. They will go for 100, 200 components, 300 components also I observed. Okay, for the crane industry. Okay. So every company you have some subcontracting procurement. The subcontracting is a special procurement, but actually there are the here in subcontracting procurement one new transaction code we observed today. However, PIR you know the CH0 bill of materials, but you no need to worry about this bill of materials prepared by the production people in the CH0 transaction code. Whenever we are creating PR or PO, automatically components will be detected here. But there are a lot of things we observed in this process. Item category real reference for the subcontracting procurement. The purchase info record is optional. If purchase info record is not there, if you have not created the purchase info record, you mention the price manually in the PO, how much you are going to pay the service charge here. Okay. So these are all we need to understand here. Let us please try this here. So there are 4 procurement processes you need to try this weekend. Okay. So from Monday onwards, we will continue other procurement processes. Okay, Lakshmi, Yamuna, Yashasvi, please
We
practice
have it.
this.
How to copy this bill of materials into the new PR we are creating?
No, you don't need to copy Yashasvi. That's what actually so what I told you when you are creating a PR. Okay. You go to MP. So again, I'm creating a PR example. Okay. So simply you need to enter your finished part here 1619, right? So my finished part here. Let us say 10 pieces. So plant into the store location. So this is the normal.
So
Then I enter
we
the
have
item.
to enter all these material codes and quantities, right?
Yes. So if I enter the subcontracting L here, automatically the components tab will be detected here. Bill of materials already created. If you click on components, automatically components will be detected. So that's what I
Okay.
told you.
So we are giving only finished products.
Finished part, yes. So that's what when you are creating bill of material in CH0, so better you need to give some 2-3 days before valid from. If you give the same day, the components will not be detected here. Okay, you just that time when you are creating CH0, so better you need to give the bill of material at least 2-3 days before. If you give the same day, components will not be detected. In real time, the same day we are not going to perform, right? So here valid from you need to give some 2-3 days before. Valid that you need to check.
Okay. So if there is any change in bill of materials, production people will take care.
Completely the production people. Any changes, if there are anything here, the production people will create the bill of material, not by us. So simply item category L represents for the subcontracting people. When you are creating the order, so components new tab will be detected. There, if you click on component, so what are the list of components, ratios, everything automatically will be multiplied. Only we need to provide the components in MV1B with 541 movement type. For that components, if there are not in my stores, I need to check. I need to provide with 541. Once I will provide, whenever they prepare the finished pack, I need to receive the goods receipt in MIGO. So this is what we need to discuss. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So is there any issues, Yamuna and Lakshmi? Is it clear for you also?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There any issues? Everything is okay, Lakshmi. So this weekend, please practice all the business processes from starting to ending, standard, pipeline, consignment, subcontracting. So then we'll meet on Monday. Okay, the same time.
And
Okay, sir.
will you actually show us, live example in the end, or how is it?
Which subcontracting procurement?
For all types of procurement, if you can take up one project
Oh,
or one order.
sure, sure, definitely. After some 3 to 4 business processes, so I'll show you. One business blueprint is there. I'll explain to you. Okay, don't worry.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, please practice all. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. Same to you. Same to you.